And we are live from Lakeland, Florida. This is a special edition CSI Sportsnet audio-only broadcast of CSI Dolphins men's basketball in the second game of two here in Florida. Dolphins take on the Moccasins of Florida Southern College as the game opens with an air ball from three. That was Elijah Walsh from downtown, and very quickly there is a whistle following that missed shot and a Dolphins rebound. They're going to address the clock here as well. The Dolphins will inbound from in front of their own bench. Ball was knocked out of bounds by the Mocs. This is a special broadcast for the crew back home. This is unlisted on YouTube. Only our close-knit crew from CSI Athletics tuning into this one. So we welcome all of you in. Hopefully more than one of you has chosen to join me, but we need a call in case there are some highlights from this game. And you know me, I can't miss calling a good game, especially after last night, as Eric Tynes is off the mark from three on the first Dolphins possession. The Mocs back the other way quickly. They work it around the outside. Ramadan with it, defended by Goldstein at the top of the arc. Chestnut now defending Brady Corso. Ball up top. Backing in is Charlie Dalton. He fakes, and he cannot get the roll over Tynes. Putback attempt no good by Amari Miller. And Tynes ripped the rebound away from Dalton. Thought for sure that would result in a jump ball. Poulin, transition three from the corner, too strong. Rebounded by Asa Kone. Kick out to Tynes. Goldstein, deep three off the mark. Rebounded by J.J. Chestnut. He feeds Kone cutting, but Kone couldn't reel it in. It's stolen by Miller. Miller nearly threw it away. Goldstein harassing Ramadan on the outside. His runner from the free throw line is good, and Ramadan opens the scoring. Mocs lead it 2-0, just shy of 2 minutes gone by in the first half. Joey Poulin with it well beyond the arc, looking for somewhere to go with it. Now Chestnut on the wing, defended by Ramadan. Chestnut spins inside, and he is emphatically rejected by Miller on the lefty layup attempt. Chestnut beat his man, but Miller was there waiting. He sends that one into the Mocs bench. 8 on the shot clock. Off the inbound, Chestnut will try a three. He's short. And the rebound goes to Corso. Mocs up the floor quickly. Ball up top with Dalton. Dalton thought about a three, drives on Kone. Couple of shot fakes and a nice finish inside. Kone bit on the first fake. Dalton kept the pivot foot and easily scored. 4-0 FSC over CSI. Dolphins head coach T.J. Tibbs giving instruction from his bench. 18 on the shot clock for J.J. Chestnut. Bounce pass to Kone, top of the arc. His back to the basket, hands off to Goldstein. Goldstein lost his footing, but Poulin corrals it. Now Chestnut on the drive. His pull-up jumper is short. Rebounded by Dalton. Dalton goes right at the Dolphins' defense and draws a foul. It came before the shot attempt on a reach-in.
Dolphins, number 3, J.J. Chestnut, his first, team's first.
And they do call it in the act of shooting. Dalton will head to the line for 2 shots.
Dalton shooting 2.
First free throw from Dalton is good. Dalton comes in averaging just shy of 9 points and 5 rebounds per game. Shooting 45% from the field, 6 of 8 from the line. And he's now 8 of 10 from the stripe, 2 for 2 trip here. Dolphins trail 6-0, still looking for their first points 3 minutes into the first half. Goldstein was doubled shy of half court. Dolphins have time to get it across. Chestnut with it just beyond half court. Tynes hands it right back to him on the wing, 15 to shoot. Tynes thought about the three and threw it away. Wanted Kone on the cut. Alley-oop pass at the other end, tipped by the Dolphins, who get out in transition. Goldstein for Poulin. Tynes thought about it, finds Poulin for three. And it rattles out. Rebound Kone. Kone in a triple team underneath, and he banks it in for the first Dolphins points. Asa Kone inside, went up on 3 defenders, was able to bank it in. Ramadan bounce pass to the wing. This is Dalton for 3. Off back iron, no good. Rebounded by Goldstein. Goldstein looks to drive, gets inside and lays it in. Aaron Goldstein with a strong move to the basket, and the Dolphins trail by 2. On the outside, Corso kicks to the corner. Dalton back up top for Ramadan, and he knocks down the 3. FSC now in front by 5, 9-4. Goldstein pressured across the timeline. They ease off on him now. Kicking to the corner. Poulin had to pick up his dribble. Kone's floater in the lane rattles in. Poulin to Kone, just beyond the free throw line in the paint. He has 4 points, and the Dolphins are back within 3. Miller on the wing, going at Tynes. Spin move, and a wild shot was blocked. Dalton's putback no good. Another offensive board for Dalton. Kicks out of a double team. Shot fake by Corso. Back into the corner. Dalton for 3. Too strong. Rebound tipped into the hands of Joey Poulin. Dolphins look to push. Chestnut from Goldstein. He attacks inside. Finishes with the left. Through the foul and 1. J.J. Chestnut in transition off a nice feed from Aaron Goldstein. And he will go to the line with a chance to tie the score at 9 following our first timeout of the first half. We head to a quick break with 14:50 to go in the first half. Dolphins trailing 9-8 with a chance to get even at the line when we come back. Joe Foreman back with you here on CSI Sportsnet as part of our audio-only live stream of tonight's men's basketball action. Admittedly, took me a bit of time to find this place. Got here about 20 minutes before tip-off. There is a warehouse with a very similar name about 5 minutes away. We ended up there first. Quickly figured out that was not the right place as J.J. Chestnut's free throw coming back from break rattles out. This is Ramadan with it. Over to the wing, hands off to Miller, and Ramadan gets it right back. His 3 in and out. Rebound to Kone, and here comes Aaron Goldstein the other way. Goldstein on the crossover, met with a double team. Now Mitchell Wiggin, who just checked into the game with a nice shot fake, can't finish. Kone's rebound, and jump ball is the call. Possession arrow will favor the Dolphins here, so we'll stay at this end. So for those of you not paired with the SSC Network video feed, I am on the left side of half court relative to the camera here at FSC. Dolphins get the inbound in. Benedict for 3, too long. And Poulin threw it off the legs of a mock underneath. And there's another example of Joey Poulin earning the Dolphins an extra possession. We've seen that time and time again, doing the little things to give the Dolphins extra opportunities. Off the inbound, Goldstein deep two, no good. And the rebound was pulled in by Jasir Tremble. Mocs look to run, leading by 1. 9-8 our score. Tremble flips it back to Miller. His mid-range jumper, a high arcing shot, is good. That one was up there for what seemed like an eternity. Got lost behind the banners from up here in the last row. 11-8, FSC on top. Goldstein on the wing, bounce pass for Kone, top of the arc. He hands off to Benedict. Kone, short pass to Wiggin, and Wiggin kept his footing and lays it in. Mocs bench wanted to travel. Perhaps they could have gotten one. Tremble answers right back with a three. Mocs wasting no time off that Dolphins basket, getting it right up the floor. Tremble waiting at the wing, knocks down the three-pointer. FSC in front, 14-10. Benedict, right corner three at the other end, no good. And again, the Mocs look to run. Big crossover by Miller. Back to the basket. He kicks out for a Schomers three, and that is good. Spencer Schomers from downtown. And the Mocs now lead it by 7. FSC has looked to run off of Dolphin misses. And it's worked to great effectiveness early as Goldstein's way off from downtown. Benedict with the rebound. Goldstein will try again. Off back rim. Rebounded by Poulin. Dolphins doing a really nice job on the glass early as Benedict's floater is short. And as well as they've done on the glass, they've shot at that poorly in the early going. Tremble out to Schomers for another three. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound by Kone. Outlet pass up the floor. Poulin, alley-oop, Wiggin through his hands and out of bounds.
Checking in with Mocs, number 1, Elijah Walsh, and number 26, Charlie Dalton.
Dalton and Walsh back in for the Mocs. 5 on the floor for the Dolphins. Wiggin, Benedict, Tynes, Chestnut, and Torres. Just over 12 minutes to go first half. This is Walsh on the drive, and that's far too easy. His lefty layup is good. And the Mocs lead it by 9 now. Chestnut doubled off the inbounds pass, gets it to Wiggin. He feeds Torres, and he is swatted by Schomers. Dolphins had the numbers, could not get an open look, and now Schomers for three, knocks it down. It's a 12-point game and a Dolphins timeout. Dolphins have had the looks early in this game and have done a great job on the glass, but so far the shots have not fallen for CSI. 11:35 to go in the first half. Our score, the Mocs 22 and the Dolphins 10. And we are back from Lakeland, Florida, with the Dolphins are in an early 12-point hole, playing with 11:35 to go in the first half. And we welcome in the rest of our YouTube audience that may have joined us a bit late. We have confirmed that the internet is good enough to sustain a live broadcast, so we are now public on YouTube. Crew back home, you're not on your own anymore. It's Dolphins ball. 12 to shoot. Wigan drives and is blocked from behind by Shomers. In transition now, Tremble crosses over and will bring it back outside. Cross-court pass to Khalil Ross. Ross, kick out. Tremble shot fake. And his runner in the lane is off the back rim, no good. And the Mocs could not save that one. It will be Dolphins ball as Joey Poulin checks back in. Dolphins inbound with 10:58 to go in this first half. They get it into Chestnut. He's immediately pressured. JJ had it poked away, keeps it. Poulin swings it to the wing. Chase Martabano checks in for the first time in this game at that last timeout as well. This is Tynes for Chestnut with 7 to shoot. Chestnut, pull-up jumper just inside the arc, rolls off. And the Dolphins nearly came away with another offensive board instead. The Mocs look to run. Tremble to the rim. May have been blocked, and the putback slam by Shomers puts an exclamation point on that possession. Dolphins have been all over the offensive glass in this game. That time, it is Shomers. An emphatic putback slam to extend the lead to 14. Torres for 3. And that's a much-needed basket for the Dolphins, who were in the midst of an extensive scoreless stretch. Long 3 for Ross is good. And the Mocs answer right back. Pressure on the Dolphins again. They have 2 seconds to get it across, and they do. Now they have numbers. Torres out to Martabano, right back to Torres. This is Chestnut, 8 to shoot. JJ tied up, kicks out. Torres knocks down another 3. Back-to-back threes for Brandon Torres. It's an 11-point game. This is Ross, short on the floater, grabs his own miss and puts it up and in. Mocs so all over the offensive glass these last 2 possessions. That pass tipped, and it will stay Dolphins ball.
Checking into the Mocs, number 7, Amir Ramadan. Number 11, Brady Corso. And Dolphins, number 10, Lisa
Dolphins
number 21, Aaron Goldstein.
will send Aaron Goldstein in,
And number 5, Noah Harper.
along with Noah Hargrove. Mocs lead is 13 points, just under 9 minutes to play first half. This is Goldstein, double, looking to drive baseline. Bounce pass stolen. Goldstein scored 40 last night, has been held to just 2 thus far. And Dalton's 3 is in and out. And the rebound was stripped away by Goldstein. Walsh had it for just a moment. This is Poulin for Kone, and the dunk rattles in and out. Dolphins with a chance right there to inject some life into that bench. Ramadan short on the 3, and the rebound's pulled in by Martabano. Jump ball called here, and the possession arrow favors the Mocs.
Checking in for the Mocs, number 0, Murray Miller. Number 24, Spencer Shomers.
Miller and Shomers back in for FSC. Dolphins keep the same 5 out there for now. Short inbound, mismatch. Dalton over Goldstein. That's a good job by Goldstein. He was at a big size disadvantage right there. Goldstein for Poulin into the corner. 3-pointer on the way, and that is way too strong by Hargrove. Mocs right back the other way. Dalton on the wing. His pass tipped by Poulin and stolen. Poulin, finger roll won't go. Kone with the rebound, and he is fouled. Lisa Kone will head to the line for a pair. With 7:49 to go in the half.
His first team second. Timeout on the floor for a media timeout.
Timeout on the floor for a media timeout. With that, we will head to a quick break. Our score, 29-16, the Mocs over the Dolphins. Asa Kone to the line for the Dolphins, who trail by 13 with 7:49 to go in the first half. Kone with 4, leading the Dolphins in scoring among players on the floor. Leading all scorers for CSI's Brandon Torres. Kone's first free throw is good. Second is no good. Deficit remains 12 for the Dolphins. Ramadan well beyond the arc. Defended by Hargrove, swings it over. Corso, short feed inside and a block from behind. Martabano came in and got a piece of that shot. Now Goldstein, step back 3, splash. And that will prompt an immediate Mocs timeout. Aaron Goldstein has pulled the Dolphins back to within single digits. Our score, the Mocs 29 and the Dolphins 20. We'll be right back with 7:21 to go in the first half. Just over 7 minutes to play in the first half. Dolphins have pulled to within 9. Aaron Goldstein knocked down a 3, which immediately prompted an FSC timeout. The Mocs with it now. Corso on the drive, and his lay-in rolls in off the left side of the rim. Initially, wasn't sure if that one would go down, but it extends the lead back to double figures. The Mocs ahead by 11. Poulin alley-oop for Kone, easily tipped away by Miller. And Goldstein nearly stole that pass. Instead, Ramadan will try a 3, and he rattles it in. Amir Ramadan with 8 points now. Spencer Shomers with 8 as well. This is Poulin. Can't finish high off glass. Rebound pulled in on the offensive glass by the Dolphins once again. That was Hargrove. Goldstein well beyond the arc. Shot fake, and the fadeaway jumper is good. Nice move by Aaron Goldstein, who early in this season appears to be embracing his role as this team's #1 scorer with open arms. There's a long kick out and a shot fake by Corso. His 3 off the mark. The tip in finds Kone. Down he goes. Kone was on the way down. Looked like he may have grabbed Ramadan to brace his own fall. Kone may have been helped down from behind as well, and he remains down on the floor. We welcome in the members of our audience who have joined us a bit late. We were not sure about the internet connectivity and whether or not we'd be able to go online tonight, but all went well for the first 8 minutes, and we welcomed in the rest of our Sportsnet audience and made the stream public at about the 12-minute mark in this first half. So as they attend to Asa Kone, who is holding his left wrist, we will step aside and take a quick break. 5:52 to go first half. Dolphins trail 34-22. And we are back from Lakeland, Florida, where during the break they have reviewed that last foul on Asa Kone and assessed him a flagrant 1. Right now it does appear Kone is going to remain in the game. He was grabbing at his left wrist after he went down hard. And at the time, I speculated that he may have grabbed a hold of Amir Ramadan to break his own fall. But in the process, he picked up the flagrant foul. And now Ramadan, after knocking down the first free throw, makes it a 2-for-2 trip to the line. Mocs now lead by 14. Dolphins have never led in this game. Trailed 9-8 in the early going, and then an extensive run by FSC increased their lead to double digits, and that lead has only dipped below the 10-point mark once, and that was about 2 or 3 minutes ago on an Aaron Goldstein three-pointer. That made it 29-20 at the time. Since then, a 7-2 run for the Mocs as Miller goes to work, but he traveled. No question about that one. Dolphins inbound with 5:44 to go here in the first half. Goldstein with it, well beyond the arc. Chestnut now back to the basket at the three-point line. Looked to spin and was fouled. Just 2 team fouls per side through the first 14 and a half minutes. It has been, up until that injury to Kone and the timeout that preceded it, following the Goldstein three, up until then, it had been a lightning-quick first half. And that's a reckless pass, stolen easily, and Chestnut, with the rejection, sends Corso down, and I thought they would call a jump ball there. Chestnut absolutely stuffed that shot, but I thought for sure they'd go jump ball. Instead, it's an inbound for the Mocs with 28 on the shot clock. 5:20 to go first half. Off the inbound, the entry pass goes inside to Miller. His face-up jumper way off. Wiggin with the rebound, and here comes Goldstein. Goldstein into the corner. Wiggin for three. Rolls off. Tynes got a hand on it, but could not secure the rebound. Just over 5 minutes to go. Dolphins still trail by 14. Ramadan defended by Chestnut. Now Corso with the deep three. Off back iron. Tipped out by Poulin right to Corso. They'll bring it back outside. 15 to shoot. Miller hands off to Ramadan. Bounce pass right back to Miller. And the shot fake gets Tynes up in the air. Easy two for Miller. Great ball movement there by the Mocs. Dolphins did well to stay with them, but Miller just too much once he got that good positioning inside. Goldstein uses a Chestnut screen, now a Tynes screen. Poulin, corner three, short. And the rebound goes to Miller. Here come the Mocs in transition. Ramadan for three. Off the back rim. And it will be Dolphins ball. Tipped away from CSI by Shomers.
Checking in for the Mocs, number 2, receiver, dribble, number 26, Charlie Dalton, number 6, Khalil Ross.
4 new Mocs enter the game off the bench. The Dolphins will keep the same 5 out there. Goldstein working in from the outside. Kicks out to Poulin. Open three, once again off the mark. Poulin's had a few looks from that left corner. Hasn't knocked one down yet. And now Ramadan goes right at him and lays it in. That draws a nice reaction from this home crowd. The lead now 18 points. Poulin flips it to Goldstein. He looks to drive to his left. Cross-court pass reeled in by Tynes. Tynes will try a three, and he is off from distance. The Dolphins really struggling from beyond the arc in this first half. More so in the last 10 minutes. Torres hit a couple, and Goldstein hit one, but that's been it. And to the rim goes Walsh. Could not finish what would have been a circus layup on the reverse. Wiggin right back to Chestnut in transition, and JJ can't finish. Chestnut got right inside and could not convert at the rim. Now Ramadan backs in, and his scoop layup won't go. Rebound by Wiggin. Dolphins have gotten the stops, just have not scored here in this first half. Goldstein kick out for Tynes. In and out. The Mocs have been content to give the Dolphins those looks from the corners as Ross was fouled, and he will head to the line for 2 shots. Very unfamiliar live stats platform. that this game is being scored on, as timeout is called on the floor for a media timeout, but I found what I'm looking for. The Dolphins, 3 of 19 from 3 in this first half, and that tells a large part of the story in this game thus far. 2:37 to go, first half. The lead for the Mocs over CSI, 40-22. Khalil Ross at the line for 2 shots after he was fouled inside. Chance to make this a 20-point FSC lead, and the first free throw is good. Dolphins on the back half of a back-to-back against a pair of tough opponents here in Florida. And the last time that they were down here, I believe Nova Southeastern was ranked number 2. But that was many years ago, and I'm going solely based off memory, but that is a nationally acclaimed program with a championship pedigree. The Dolphins faced them all the way back in the 2019-2020 season as Chestnut is blocked on a floater inside. Numbers for the Mocs here, and in transition, Elijah Walsh will throw it down with 2 hands. This game very much in danger of getting away from the Dolphins late in this first half. Goldstein, bounce pass inside for Kone. He goes to work, and the hook shot will not go. Chestnut got his hands on that ball, and that buys the Dolphins an extra possession. But last night at the University of Tampa, the Dolphins pushed the Spartans to the limit, lost by 4. They led that game by double digits in the first half and by a single point with 10.5 to go. And from there, Tampa seized control. The Dolphins made a late push, but came up short in the closing seconds as Kone was fouled. Dolphins left with 20 on the shot clock now as they reset that. But as I said before, it was a very quickly moving first half. That has taken a bit of a turn here in the last few minutes. The officials right now discussing something. Not quite in my usual position, courtside at center. As Goldstein tries the 3, he is short. And Leighton Woods tipped it right to Kone, who lays it in. Count the basket and 1. Asa Kone will head back to the line. He now has 7. Goldstein has 7. Taking a look at the live stat box score, I do not see a way to check the stats of the players on the bench. So used to sidearm when you run into something else, it's a bit troubling. Corso, too strong from 3, and that was nearly tipped in. Ross came soaring in. Dolphins now looking to push, had it poked away from behind. And that was last touched by Goldstein. So with the missed free throw by Kone, it remains a 20-point game. Could not convert the conventional three-point play. At least that's what Clyde Frazier calls it. See so many threes in today's game. That's hardly the case anymore. Dalton, right at Wigan, couldn't finish. Just over a minute to go in the half. Goldstein off the head fake, gets inside, finds Woods in the corner. Back up top, Chestnut for three. Off the front rim and out, but Wigan has the putback. Dalton up top, swings it to Ross. In and out from three. And the Dolphins with a couple of baskets here. Could get back to within striking distance. Nice bounce pass. Goldstein to Wigan in transition. And the Dolphins are within 16. You get a stop and a basket here, and you're within striking distance. You'll take that at halftime, especially on the second half of a back-to-back against a nationally ranked program. To the rim, Tremble couldn't finish over Kone, but once again, Ross comes soaring in. This time he converts the putback. 10 seconds to go in the half. The lead is 18 for the Mocs. Goldstein crosses over. He's doubled. Goldstein in trouble with 2 seconds to go. Wigan has it. And that shot came up just short. Don't know if it would have counted. But at the end of the first half, the score, FSC 46, Staten Island 28. When we come back, the final 20 minutes from Lakeland, Florida. This is CSI Sportsnet audio coverage of CSI Dolphins men's basketball. The Dolphins trail at the half by 18. Second half about to get underway from Lakeland, Florida, with the Dolphins trailing 46-28. At the start of half number 2 will be CSI basketball. Aaron Goldstein inbounding from center court to get us started in the second half. Dolphins had a chance late in that first half, trailing by 16 to score and make it a 14-point game. Instead, they were stopped, and the Mocs answered with a basket to extend their lead to 18. Dolphins have just struggled shooting from the outside, have struggled shooting overall, but there's a good start as Aaron Goldstein knocks down a pull-up jumper. At last check, the Dolphins were 3 of 19 from downtown. I do not believe they attempted a three after that. The attempt by Wigan to end the half. I think he was towing the line, and I'm not sure he got it off anyway as the Dolphins forced a turnover. Now a chance to make it a 14-point game. And Eric Tynes said, why not 13? But he couldn't hit from the wing. Here come the Mocs back the other way. Ramadan, deep three, air ball. And that was tipped by Miller along the baseline and kept in by Corso. Shot clock at 20. Dalton stripped. And Kone, who had 7 points and 10 rebounds in the first half, came away with that ball. Chestnut downhill, lefty layup, air ball. Tried to finish over Dalton. As the Mocs have opened up the second half sloppy, there's another turnover. Poulin flips it to J.J. Chestnut. He drives. Shot fake and a bounce pass to Goldstein. Rolls off. And Dalton will secure it in the corner. As Goldstein had a big chance right there to knock down a three and make this a 13-point game. But the outside shooting stroke just hasn't been there for the Dolphins through the first 21 minutes plus. Defensively, the Dolphins have held the Mocs under 40% shooting. They're a team that's come in shooting very well early in the season, so that's a good number for the Dolphins on the defensive side. They've also held FSC to just 6 of 19 from downtown, and as I praise the defense, Dolphins allow an easy backdoor cut by Walsh to go for a dunk. Dalton to Walsh for the two-handed slam, and it's an 18-point game again. This time Chestnut does finish with the left, and it's right back to 16. And immediately the Mocs answer right back. FSC now 7 of 20 from downtown, and they lead it by 19 as Goldstein was fouled. Dolphins now are just 3 of 23 from three-point range and 1 of 4 from the line. The Mocs are 6 of 6 from the stripe. The extra threes and the extra free throws accounting for a large portion of that 19-point deficit. Chestnut for Tynes. Tynes looks to drive, shot fake, and the finish as he gets the roll off the front rim through the contact. Count it, and the foul. Dalton charged with the foul, his second, and quickly the team's second, just shy of 2.5 minutes into the second half. Free throw by Tynes is good.
Checking into the match, number 24, Spencer Schomer.
And it's now a 16-point game. Credit to the Dolphins for not going away in that first half very easily in the second game of a back-to-back. The first half score could have gotten out of hand, but they kept it within 20 for all but a couple of seconds in that first half, and now are back to within 16 as Ramadan finds the open man. Extra pass leads to a Corso three. Cross-court pass, corner to corner, extra pass to the wing, and an easy three for Brady Corso. The deficit 19, and Goldstein with the high arcing three brings it right back to a 16-point game. Aaron Goldstein has started to heat up since the end of the first half. Ramadan pull up off the back rim, and the tip-in won't go. Shomers was there, long outlet for Poulin. Poulin attacking the basket, can't finish. And now the Mocs head the other way. Corso was met by Chestnut. That will slow things down. Walsh on the drive. He was blocked. Tynes with the rejection. Goldstein now to Poulin. Wide open three. Short. Poulin is 0 for the game from 3 thus far. Goldstein will try again, and it rolls off from the corner. Poulin down to the floor trying to wrestle it away from Miller. Now Walsh left all alone. In and out. Miller with the rebound. Put back over Kone won't go. Another offensive board, and the floater rattles out. 3 chances for the Mocs, all come up empty. Dolphins doing just enough to hang around. If they start hitting some of their three-pointers, they could get back into this as Chestnut is swatted again by Miller. And the Dolphins will go to their bench following what is going to be a media timeout. 15:50 to go, second half. Dolphins trail 54-38. $15.50 to go here in the second half. Dolphins trail by 16 on the road at Florida Southern College. Number 15 ranked men's basketball program as Kone was fouled on an attempted alley-oop pass. We've seen that from the Dolphins on the inbound more than once before. They like to set up that alley-oop off the baseline inbound and they execute there. Kone almost got it to go through contact. Dolphins, as I mentioned prior to the break, went to the bench. Poulin and Chestnut take a seat, along with Tynes, Torres, Benedict, and Wigan into the game. And you have to think that's an effort to get a bit more outside shooting on the floor. Torres had a couple of threes in that first half. Dolphins, through the first 20 minutes, only knocked down a trio of three-pointers. 2 of those were by Torres, and for a long time, he was CSI's leading scorer. Goldstein now leads the way with 12, as Kone goes 2 of 2 from the line. It's a 14-point game. Ramadan is defended by Goldstein, top of the arc. Tremble up top for Ross. Now Corso for 3. No good. And Goldstein had the rebound. It's wrestled away from him. He's down on the floor, and he finds Benedict. Benedict doubled. Gets it away to Torres. He pushes to Wigan. Wigan at the basket. Can't finish. Kone had it taken out of his hands, but Wigan has it. Turnaround jumper. Rolls off. And Benedict is on the floor. He has it. And what is the call? It is a jump ball called. Possession arrow favors the Mocs. Dolphins had multiple chances to score there from in close. 2 of them by Wigan, and he could not convert. 15:09 to go. Dolphins trail by 14 points. And I think Coach TJ Tibbs and the Dolphins staff have to be happy with the effort here in the second half. The Dolphins are diving all over the floor, going after loose balls. They've been all over the glass. Deficit has decreased by 4 since halftime. Ramadan, Tremble, fall away jumper, short, and Goldstein has the long rebound. He was fouled, and that is the 4th team foul on the Mocs in this second half. So very quickly, that team foul tally becoming a factor, and that's something to keep in mind as we approach the late stages of this game. Foul trouble for the Mocs certainly could help the Dolphins get back in it. Goldstein well beyond the arc with 20 to shoot. Now Kone. He had it poked away. Goldstein will retrieve it in the backcourt. 12 to shoot now. Goldstein, big crossover. And his 3 nearly went in off glass. Ramadan ahead of the floor. Goldstein looked to be limping a bit, and Torres has whistled for a foul as Ramadan missed what looked to be an easy layup. Well, initially I thought Goldstein might have carried the ball. They didn't call it, and he ended up getting a decent look from 3 on the step back. Created separation, but that's a tough shot. And the way this game has gone, the Dolphins will probably need a few of those to fall to get back in it. Ramadan's first free throw, no good. And it has been a very lethargic start to the second half for the Mocs. They haven't scored in nearly 3 minutes. And that scoring drought ends with that free throw. It's a 15-point game. Dolphins lead the second half 12-9 with that last made free throw. Wigan calling for a screen from Kone. And Kone was fouled. That is team foul number 5 on the Mocs. Torres the inbounder. Benedict back up to Torres. Now Goldstein. Kone goes to work, kicks out. Torres had a good look at it, pulls up for 2. Can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound, and Kone's putback results in a foul call. Asa Kone continues to dominate on the offensive boards, and he will head back to the free throw line. with a chance to record his second consecutive double-double. In the 4-point loss at University of Tampa last night, Kone and Goldstein were the only two Dolphins in double figures. But you can afford that when your leading scorer has 40. And Kone's first free throw is in and out. Mentioned it during the first half. The Dolphins early on were just 1 of 4 from the line. And up until that miss by Ramadan about a minute or two ago, the Mocs were perfect from the stripe. They're now 7 of 8. Kone's second free throw is good. And the lead is back to 14 for FSC. And Chestnut ended up in the scorers table. So with Kone at the line, Aaron Goldstein was called to the bench for a breather. Not sure how long the Dolphins will keep him there. Tremble over to Dalton. Back to the right wing, Miller for 3. Off back iron. Dalton got his hands on it, but could not secure it. Good contest for that board by Kone. In terms of the overall rebounding battle, we are dead even at 40. Dolphins with that last team rebound now have 41. And Benedict had his pass tipped and stolen by Dalton. Dalton out to Tremble, wide open 3 is good. And it's now a 17-point game again. Door was open for the Dolphins, but could close very quickly with a run here by the Mocs. This is Chestnut into the corner, tipped again. And we've seen that a couple of times. Dalton with good range, a long defender, hedging against that drive and then reaching out toward the corner as that pass comes. The Dolphins, they have to make that pass from in the paint. Noah Hargrove into the game for CSI. Chestnut's entry pass did get to Kone, just barely. They'll give it to him again, and Kone will score. Issa Kone putting together another nice game. Now has 12 points and 12 boards as Dalton threw it away. Long outlet. Short pass. Wiggin. Lefty layup is good. And the Dolphins now are back to within 13. Wiggin downhill is a really tough man to stop as Tremble cannot answer. That's not a great possession for the Mocs. Now Wiggin is stripped. It finds Torres. Torres, fall away jumper is good. And the lead is now 11. Dolphins with a nice stretch here. Very quickly this game could have gotten away, but a 6-0 CSI run has made it 58-47. Walsh off the mark from 3. Well, the Mocs offense stagnant right now. One and done. Quick shots early in the shot clock. Kone at the top of the arc. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Now Chestnut on the drive. Finds Wiggin, and he banks it in. The deficit now single digits. CSI within 9. The Dolphins, with an 8-0 run, have forced the Mocs to call for time. Plenty of time to go in this one. 11:32 remaining. Dolphins trail 58-49. And we're back from Lakeland as the Mocs execute perfectly out of the timeout. Another backdoor cut by Walsh. Bounce pass sets him up for a two-handed slam. And just like that, the lead is back to double digits for the Mocs. Torres on the drive. Couldn't finish. Looked like he was going to have a good look at it. Was a bit hesitant as Miller couldn't pull in that long pass. As I take a look around at the broadcast setup here, I always have to take that in. So we've reached another media timeout. We'll stay here through the break, but over on Sportsnet, we're in the process of incorporating more cameras. Right now we are at 2. A third is still pending delivery, but that order has been placed. We're just waiting on Amazon to get that equipment to us. And once it shows up in my office on my all-new corner desk, we can get to streaming with a third camera. The big question mark is, where do we put it? We have a camera at center court for our pregame show, and then, of course, the camera up top, as my voice is beginning to go after 9 broadcasts in 3 days. We weren't sure we were going to go live tonight, as I was not feeling well following the weekend of basketball at CSI. Still not doing too great, but we've cranked up the audio levels. I'm actually speaking a lot lower than it sounds on the air, but I cranked up the levels to make sure that even with my reduced volume, everything comes through. But for us on Sportsnet, we are going to incorporate a third camera in the near future, certainly I would say by the new year, and we're looking very much forward to that. But our question right now is, where is that camera going to go, and will it be manually operated? Those are questions that Nick and I hope to have some answers to soon. But shout out to Nick and Stephanie watching back at home. They're very loyal. They have the SSC network up on one screen. Unfortunately, that audio is muted for the network, and they have me on the call via YouTube. As we're back to action here in Lakeland, and the Dolphins cough it up off the inbound. Chestnut lost control of it as he was pressured along the baseline. Immediately after he got that ball, he seemed to lose possession of it. Our next broadcast on Sportsnet will be this weekend, as Miller has an easy 2 off the inbound. That's a couple of baskets, way too easy, as Chestnut turns it over again. He stays down. And it's now a 15-point game as Wigan is stripped. And the Mocs have really turned up the intensity here. Chestnut never got up off the floor. TJ Tibbs was asking the officials why they didn't stop the game. He was certainly hit in the head. And after the first made basket, I thought perhaps they would stop it. They did not. And now he's being attended to. Dolphins had all of the momentum at a 9-point deficit. But very quickly, the Mocs, coming out of a timeout, executed what was more than likely a well-diagrammed play. You never really know for sure, but sometimes you do know. And I think it's safe to say that the execution coming out of the timeout was on point, and from there, the Dolphins never really recovered. Chestnut just now back to his feet. JJ with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Hasn't had the shooting stroke early in the season. And it looks like they have his left arm being supported, and he is really not moving it at all. But beyond left arm, we won't speculate any further. I thought he was hit in the head. But it appears that the issue is the arm. It's Brady Corso at the line. He just extended the lead to 16 points. Now 17 with that second free throw. Hargrove bringing it up. And effectively, it's now or never for the Dolphins as Hargrove traveled. And with that, I believe Dolphins have called timeout, and indeed they have. 10:18 to go, second half. And the lead for FSC back up to 17 points.
30 seconds, timeout.
J.J. Chestnut back to the locker room for the Dolphins, so they could very well be without him the rest of this game as Elijah Walsh finishes with the left hand off glass. The lead now 19 points. This game getting away from the Dolphins quickly now after they had cut the lead to 9. And it appears the Mocs have kicked it into another gear coming out of that timeout. And Ramadan has the easy 2 off the CSI turnover, so Dolphins now trail by 21. The largest deficit of the game was 22. And you would think that CSI could have a tough time navigating this pressure without J.J. Chestnut in the game. This is Torres on the drive, and I think he was blocked on the way up. Either way, that shot not close. And now Dalton with the runner can't finish. Rebound Torres. He's immediately doubled, finds Goldstein. And now Tynes up ahead to Wiggin. Wiggin to the basket, and he was fouled. Perhaps no Dolphin more effective downhill attacking the basket than Mitchell Wiggin. And his season is off to a very nice start. Wiggin has already registered a career high in scoring a couple of times this year as that free throw rattles out.
Checking in for the Dolphins, number 2, Lakeland Woods. Number 22, Andrew Benedict.
Andrew Benedict and Leighton Woods check in. The Dolphins take Aaron Goldstein out of the game along with Asa Kone. And I think it's fair to wonder in a 20-point game if we see them again. Wiggin out as well. So out there for the Dolphins now. Martabano, Woods, Benedict, Poulin, and Tynes. And fouls called on the entry pass. Keep in mind as well that Dolphins playing the second of a back-to-back, and you know, it seems like a lifetime ago that I accompanied this team to Florida back in 2019, and the first of those games might have been a record-setting loss as Corso knocks down another 3. Poulin not ready for the pass from Benedict, and that basket will count, and the foul. Charlie Dalton converts the and one, and he will head to the line for one more. But the Dolphins against Nova Southeastern back in 2019, I think lost by nearly 70 points. And I'm fairly certain that was a program record in terms of margin of defeat and points allowed. But that was a game that left Coach Tibbs with the attitude that one day they'll be back. And I remember in the second game, the bench at times was being heckled by fans at Barry. And the response was, one day you'll see us again. After the game was over, not a word was said until the final horn, but the attitude among the Dolphins and led by Coach Tibbs was one day they will see us here again, and it will be a very different story. Dolphins, of course, in 2019 were in their first full season as a Division II program. However, they did not have a Division II recruiting class, so many of the team's players that year were holdovers from the D3 era, players that grew a great deal during the transition from D2 to D2 from D3. And that is not an easy thing to do, but I think in many ways the mark of a successful coaching staff is improvement of their players over the course of a career, and I think we've seen that from both the CSI men's and women's basketball teams. Players like Aaron Goldstein and, of course, Messiah Mallory, a player like Chris Velasquez, who started with the team as a D3 player and was still a part of the team when they made the move to Division II. But it's not just an increase in productivity for those Dolphins. It's Conference Player of the Year type performances from players like Mallory on the men's side and Jenelise Alarcon on the women's side. And Aaron Goldstein certainly aspiring toward that level this year. As Corso knocks down another three, but Goldstein's going to have a lot of competition in the East Coast Conference. And the Dolphins out there on the floor right now have a big opportunity, even though this game has gotten out of hand, a 26-point deficit. Some valuable reps for the players out there. And Benedict was tripped up and fouled, but over on the Dolphins bench, J.J. Chestnut has taken a seat. He returns from the locker room. Unlikely we see him again in a 26-point game, but 7:48 to go. We head to a media timeout. Our score, FSC 78 and CSI 52. Joe Foreman back with you here on CSI Sportsnet as Andrew Benedict heads to the line for the Dolphins following the 8-minute media timeout. Front end of a 1-and-1, good for Benedict. Dolphins not too long ago, less than 4 minutes ago, trailed this game by 9 as Benedict goes 1 for 2 from the line. And Torres pokes it away, but could not keep it in bounds. Out there for the Dolphins, Hargrove, Woods, Martabano, Benedict, and Torres. Corso thought about another three from the wing. Passes to Shomers at the free throw line, and he was fouled. Hargrove picks up the personal. We hope this is the first of many road games we'll cover this year. taking a look ahead at the schedule, it appears the next road game we could have would be around the new year when the two teams, men's and women's basketball, head up to Buffalo. We'll have to talk with our game day staffing crew and everybody over at CSI, but right now we're looking at what could potentially be a Buffalo trip that immediately follows my absence at the end of the new year, but that would cause me to miss another game, so we'd have to talk that over and see if all is clear to miss that game. If everything is clear and I'm not needed, then perhaps we go straight from Florida to Buffalo in early 2026. There's a missed three in the corner by Hargrove. Rebound goes to the Dolphins. 15 to shoot here. Martabano knocks it down from the other corner. Dolphins now trail by 24, but I'm away late in 2025, the final weekend of December and early into 2026. I will be right back here in Florida. This is Torres handing off. Martabano goes to work against Shomers. Torres on the step back. Gets the roll. I don't want to say I'm transitioning to Florida, but more and more it's becoming a routine getaway, and I don't want to say second home just yet as Woods draws the foul in transition, but if the Dolphins are here, odds are I will be here as well. Any excuse to come back down. Probably spent at least 45 days here this year, if not more. Perhaps even close to 2 months. But it's been a lot of time spent down here in Florida, and I could get used to it. Stepped out to about, say, 45 degrees today, and 82 feels a lot nicer. Woods knocks down the first free throw. The lead for the Mocs trimmed down to 21. And Woods goes 2 for 2 from the line. I mentioned our next broadcast coming up over the weekend. I fly back on Friday afternoon. And men's basketball back home against Adelphi on Saturday. Right now, I know that I am on the call. Haven't confirmed yet with the rest of the team. Nick Pavona might be summoned to stats duty as Corso misses the three on the second opportunity. Crowd wanted him to shoot it again, but he'll pull it back out. 15 to shoot. Ramadan at the jab step, crosses over, backs in, fades away, and can't get the roll. This unit for the Dolphins has found their footing a bit. Shaved some points off of this deficit. Martabano kicks to Woods for three, and Woods buries it from the corner. Leighton Woods from downtown. And the Dolphins are within 17, under 5 minutes to play, but this unit capitalizing on their opportunity for extended minutes. Ross was backing in. Found Corso on the baseline. That possession defended well. Corso is down. The Dolphins have a 5-on-4 advantage. Woods again. Off back iron. And here come the Mocs the other way. Alley-oop pass. Off the mark. And now the Dolphins have numbers. Hargrove left open for three. Splash. It's now a 14-point game again with 4 minutes to go. Dolphin bench to their feet. Coach Tibbs loving it. Now talk about taking advantage of your opportunity. The Dolphins would need a furious comeback to get into this game late, but this unit has given them some good minutes. As Corso ends the CSI run with another three. He now has 19 points. And inside of 4 minutes, we will have a full timeout. That will become the last media timeout. 3:57 to go. Dolphins trail 83-66. Under 4 minutes to play from the George W. Jenkins Fieldhouse. Admittedly, when you put it into Google Maps, it was a difficult place to find. Once you're on campus, very easy to find, as the Torres 3 is short. Just over 3.5 to play. The lead for FSC is 17 points. Dolphins, with a loss in this game, will end the night 2-2, as that basket will count and the foul. Amari Miller to the line for one more after he converted that basket through contact. I mentioned that if the Dolphins are here, so too will I be here moving forward, and that includes more than one destination. I won't be here in terms of being in the tri-state when the Dolphins visit Stack, but that has very quickly become one of my favorite areas, as Hardgrove broke some ankles and knocked down a 3. CSI bench loving that as Miller throws that down, but when the Dolphins visit Spark Hill, that is one of my favorite destinations within the ECC. I've visited Buffalo on a couple of occasions as well. Baseball playing at Deauville in the conference championship. Basketball playing at Damon. And I took a liking to Buffalo as well. If there was a city I didn't like too much, I probably wouldn't say it. But I've yet to visit Malloy. I've yet to visit Mercy. Queens has a great soccer field. Unfortunately, when I visited there, it was 20 degrees outside. Not ideal. I like it a lot more here in Florida, but we need to get to the rest of the ECC programs. Haven't been to Rochester yet. Been to UDC. And I found an area of DC that really works for me, about 20 minutes away from the University of the District of Columbia. And in fact, I will be back in December when the Dolphins visit UDC. So we should have, at the very least, the women's game, audio only that day. I'll be attending John Cena's final match that night, the same night the Dolphins play the Firebirds. So I'll certainly have the audio call of the women's game, probably not the men's game. I would think I have to be out by halftime of the men's game. So we'll see what comes of that. But I will certainly be at UDC come December, and we'll have the call of the women's game, which will be up first at 1 p.m. And I'm probably off to Washington, D.C. after that, taking John Cena's last WWE match. Anyone who watches our broadcast on Sportsnet knows the crew, big wrestling fans. As Woods couldn't knock down that three. Martabano will try. He's short. And the Mocs control with just over 2.5 to play. Entry pass to Miller. Shot fake, foul, count the basket, and one. And Amari Miller has a double-double following a three-point play not too long ago. Give him 2 more. He now has 14 points and 11 rebounds. The lead back up to 20 with 2:27 to go. And I have to admit, been to 3 Florida schools now, and all of them have had the LED scoreboards complete with player first name, last name, and all of the stats you could want. If I have it my way, CSI would be getting one of these in the not too distant future, but we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. There's certainly room for it up on the wall in the tank. And admittedly, the tank is larger than most of the gyms I've been to in the region, and even when we've taken the show on the road. Hargrove tries another three, no good. Rebound by Walsh, long outlet to Shomers. Tremble finds it cutting Buccino. Back up top, Walsh over to the wing. Buccino off back iron, rebound Tremble. Buccino now back outside to Tremble. 15 to shoot. Tremble drops it off for Walsh, who lays it in for the easy 2. And it's now a 23-point game. But the tank, in terms of facilities, ranks right up there with the best that I've been to in Division II. Foul on Hargrove there will send him to the line for a 1-and-1. Make that 2 free throws as the Dolphins are in the double bonus. FSC wanted to get some substitutions in, but they'll have to wait until after the first free throw. There could not be more of a contrast between the Dolphins uniforms and the Mocs uniforms. The Mocs with what reminds me of a retro Miami Heat style font on the front of those uniforms. The Dolphins with a much smaller script reading Staten Island. Really a fan of the Dolphins' new home white uniforms. They debuted those over the weekend at the Tournament of Heroes. The Dolphins going 2-0 in a pair of games. As Rafael Tawil knocks down a 3. Towel from downtown. And that drew a great cheer from this home crowd. Martabano off the fake. Knocks down another 3. Not as much of a cheer for that one, but the Dolphins bench appreciates that shot. McGinnis up top. Towel swings it, extra pass. One more to the corner, too strong. Martabano emerges from the pack, has it poked away with 40 seconds to go. I'm not only envious of the scoreboard, but I just got to look at the main camera they have up top. Bit envious of that camera as well. That's got to be a $2,000 or $3,000 camera as Benedict knocks down a 3. The lead is 18. Towel off from 3. Still a 4-second differential, a bit less than that, closer to a second actually between the shot and game clock. Open 3 in the corner is good for Luke McGinnis. Well, the crowd loved that shot by McGinnis. The lead is 21. Martabano, step back 3, air ball, and that will do it. Our final score from Lakeland. The Mocs 98, the Dolphins 77. CSI taking on the number 15 ranked team in the country. And they gave a good accounting of themselves in this game. They trailed by 9 at one point in the second half, but the Mocs just too much. Called timeout once their lead had been cut to single digits, and they dialed up the intensity to a level that the Dolphins simply could not match as they pulled away to win by 21. Our final score, FSC 98, CSI 77. We thank everyone who has joined us on YouTube for this audio-only broadcast. We hope you tuned in on the SSC network as well. This has been Joe Foreman on the call for CSI Sportsnet. The Dolphins fall 98-77. Our next broadcast over on Sportsnet can be viewed on Flow College this Saturday as the Dolphins host Adelphi University. Once again, Dolphins fall by 21 to the Mocs tonight. We'll see you back on Sportsnet this weekend.